Hello, my name is Michael Santos. I'm a Senior Policy Associate at Results Educational Fund, where I work with passionate grassroots advocates who use their voices to influence political decisions on critical federal housing policies that will bring an end to poverty. I'm here with you today to talk about the education rights of homeless children and youth. We have a lot to cover in the next hour of our session, but primarily I'm going to touch on five things. First, I want to talk to you about background information on homeless students. Second, I want to provide you with an overview of the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act, also known as McKinney-Vento. In particular, I want to cover the Education for Homeless Children and Youth program under this federal law. Third, I'm going to go over the educational rights under McKinney-Vento. Fourth, I'm going to talk to you about the implementation and enforcement of this federal law. And finally, I want to talk to you about ongoing challenges and possible solutions to student homelessness. All of this to say that our goal for this session is to give you an insight on the different educational barriers homeless children and youth face. I also want you to understand the legal responsibilities of state and local educational agencies with respect to removing barriers to the education of homeless students. You'll learn about the educational rights of homeless children and youth and some key recommendations and best practices on how to enforce them to ensure compliance under federal law. And finally, I hope that you gain insight on different ways to advocate for protecting the rights and meeting the educational needs of homeless children and youth. Let's start with some background information. I want to provide you with a profile and data on student homelessness. In the school year 2018 to 2019, approximately 1,377,810 students were enrolled in public schools but experienced homelessness. Now, this number has some limits to it. First, it excludes college students because this number only includes those students enrolled from K through 12. And it only includes those who are identified or self-identify as someone experiencing homelessness. This number is also limited and is an undercount because it excludes other members of household experiencing homelessness. So these are just the number of students who were identified or self-identified as experiencing homelessness, but it does not include the number of household members and other family members within the same household, but also experiencing homelessness. The other thing to remember about this number is that there's not that more recent data available due to COVID-19 related delays. You can find out more information about prior years and the number of students experiencing homelessness in public schools through the U.S. Department of Education. In particular, they have a database known as the Ed Data Express, where you can search by year and other filters that you can use to find out specific data on your state or aggregate data on the national level about the number of students experiencing homelessness. The next thing I want to talk to you about is who is experiencing homelessness. And in essence, the question we should be asking is who is covered by this federal law known as McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act. Under federal law, any child or youth who is experiencing homelessness is protected. This includes, but is not limited to, an unaccompanied youth, basically a youth who is experiencing homelessness and who is not in the physical custody of a parent or guardian. Homeless children also include children or youth who identify as LGBT. McKinney-Vento covers LGBTQ youth. Homeless children and youth identifying as LGBTQ face additional educational barriers, not only because they are experiencing homelessness, but also because of their LGBTQ identity. It is important to note that they are an overrepresented and vulnerable homeless subpopulation, particularly within the group of unaccompanied homeless youth.